I'm Rachel Chen, 31 years old, and I need to tell you about the moment my sister discovered I'd secretly bought 12 acres of land in Colorado Springs and immediately declared it family property. For years, I'd been the invisible daughter, working double shifts as an ICU nurse while my sister Emma lived rent-free in our parents' basement, pursuing her influencer career with 847 followers. I paid for Mom's diabetes medication every month, $340 without fail, while Emma got a brand new Tesla Model 3 for her 28th birthday. But when she found out about my land through a mutual friend's Instagram post, she called a family meeting and announced we'd all be moving there together. What happened next involved a lawyer, a restraining order, and the complete implosion of everything my family thought they knew about me. Before I continue, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Growing up in our 4-bedroom house in Scottsdale, Arizona, the hierarchy was clear. Dad owned 3 car dealerships, Mom ran a successful interior design firm, and money was never discussed except when it came to me. Emma was the golden child, the one with creative potential who needed nurturing. At her high school graduation, they gifted her a $50,000 check for her gap year in Europe. At mine, I got a Target gift card for $100, and a reminder that nursing school loans were my responsibility. When Emma dropped out of Arizona State after one semester, Dad said she was finding herself. When I graduated summa cum laude from nursing school, they didn't even attend because Emma had a photography exhibition that day, featuring 12 blurry photos of coffee cups. I remember sitting alone at my pinning ceremony, watching other families celebrate while mine was 40 miles away, clapping for Emma's artistic vision. Every Christmas, Emma would get MacBooks, cameras, designer bags totaling thousands. I'd get practical gifts like scrubs or stethoscopes, things for work, never just for me. The breaking point came on a Tuesday morning in March. I was reviewing my land survey documents, preparing to break ground on my dream cabin, when my phone exploded with texts. Emma had seen our cousin's Instagram story showing me at the property with the caption, "So proud of Rachel's big purchase." Within an hour, she'd called Mom, Dad, and even our aunts, spinning a story about how I'd hidden family assets. Mom called me screaming, "How dare you buy land without consulting us? We're a family. This affects everyone." I tried explaining it was my money, saved over 6 years of overtime shifts, night differentials, and eating ramen 5 nights a week. But Emma had already convinced them that since they'd supported me emotionally, they were entitled to the land. She'd even drawn up plans on her iPad for a family compound with her yoga studio in the center. "You owe us this," she said during our video call, while Mom and Dad nodded behind her. "After everything we've done for you." I asked what exactly they'd done, and the silence was deafening until Emma snapped, "We're your family. That's enough." They didn't know I'd been planning this for years. While Emma was posting selfies from Coachella on Dad's credit card, I was working pandemic shifts, 18 hours straight, watching people die alone. I saved $1,000 a month, sometimes more, living in a studio apartment with a broken AC unit in Phoenix summers. The land cost $180,000, every penny mine. I'd chosen Colorado Springs specifically, far from Arizona, near Pikes Peak where I could finally breathe. The property had mountain views, a seasonal creek, and old-growth pines I'd dreamed about during those endless hospital shifts. But to them, my dreams were community property. Emma had already told her followers about our family's mountain retreat and started a Pinterest board for the interior design. Mom had contacted contractors for a main house where they'd live year-round. They'd planned my life on my land without asking me once what I wanted. When I told them no, firmly and clearly, Emma laughed. "You can't be serious. Stop being selfish, Rachel. This land is meant for family." The next morning, they showed up at my apartment with a U-Haul. Emma live-streamed the whole thing, telling her followers they were surprising me with a family moving day. Dad had a folder of legal documents he'd printed from online, claiming something about family rights and gift laws. Mom had already packed some of my things while I was at work, going through my closet like she owned it. They'd even brought a real estate attorney, Emma's boyfriend Marcus, who wasn't even barred in Arizona, to intimidate me into signing papers making them co-owners. I stood in my doorway in my scrubs, exhausted from a 12-hour shift, watching them dismantle my life. That's when I made the call to my actual attorney, Linda Morrison, who I'd hired months ago, anticipating this exact scenario. She arrived in 20 minutes with cease and desist letters and security footage from my building showing them entering without permission. The look on their faces when real police officers escorted them out was something I'll never forget. Emma's Instagram meltdown was spectacular. She posted 17 stories in 1 hour, calling me a family traitor and heartless nurse who probably doesn't even care about patients. She revealed personal medical information about my anxiety diagnosis from high school, tagged my hospital's official account claiming I was mentally unstable, and started a hashtag, Dear Rachel the Narcissist. Meanwhile, Mom and Dad hired an actual lawyer, spending $5,000 on a retainer to sue me for emotional damages and withholding family assets. They claimed that because I'd lived in their house until 18, everything I earned afterward was partially theirs. The lawsuit was so ridiculous that Linda actually laughed reading it. But the real shock came when they contacted my mortgage company, pretending to be me, trying to add themselves to the deed. That's when I filed for the restraining order. The judge granted it immediately after seeing Emma's threatening texts about how she'd make my life hell until I shared what's ours. 3 months later, I'm sitting on my land in Colorado, building my cabin foundation with my own hands. My phone has been blissfully silent since I changed my number and only gave it to true friends. But yesterday, Linda forwarded me something interesting. Emma's Instagram is gone, deleted after my hospital filed a defamation suit. Dad's dealerships are struggling after I reported years of tax irregularities I'd noticed but kept quiet about, until now. Mom's design business lost 3 major clients who saw Emma's public meltdown and wanted nothing to do with the family drama. They're selling the Scottsdale house, downsizing to a 2-bedroom apartment. The legal bills from their failed lawsuit drained their savings. Emma's living with Marcus's parents in Tucson, working at Starbucks. Her influencer dreams as dead as our relationship. They've tried reaching me through cousins, aunts, even my high school friends. The message is always the same. Family forgives. Come home. But I am home, on my 12 acres, building something that's entirely mine. If you're watching this and you've been the invisible one, the one who paid their own way while watching others get handed everything, know this. Your success doesn't need their permission. Your dreams don't require family approval. I spent 29 years believing I owed them something for being born into their family. I spent nights wondering why Emma's dreams mattered more than mine. But now, at 31, sitting on land they'll never set foot on, I understand. Some people see your success as their entitlement. They'll claim ownership of your achievements while denying their role in your struggles. Build anyway. Save anyway. Dream anyway. Because when you finally stand on something that's entirely yours, something you bled for, worked for, sacrificed for, no one can take that feeling away. They can hire lawyers, post online, make threats, but they can't steal what you've earned. Thanks for listening to my story. Remember, family isn't about blood, it's about respect. And sometimes, the best gift you can give yourself is distance from those who only see you as a resource to exploit.